pretty interesting. But here is number 3, the invisible work. So when you reach a certain level, people only see the outcomes. They see the units, the volume, and the collaborations. Remind yourself of this quote, and I want you guys to tell me, this is a participation part. I want you to tell me what you hear when you hear this. People only see the decisions you made, not the choices you had. So what goes through your mind when you hear that? Who's got it? Where's the other mic at? Here it is. What goes through your minds? People only see the decisions you made, not the choices you had. Vicky.
I just handed it.
I guess when I think about it, I might be looking at it wrong, but I feel like a lot of people see like I guess the things that you do reflect on maybe what you've gone through.
Okay.
Or like the things that you're doing now are a reflection of maybe what you had to go through and the reason that you had to do them.
Got it. So she said the things you're going through or are showing up now are a reflection of things you went through.
Yeah.
Okay. T?
I feel like the decisions you make create the actions that you go, kind of going on with Vicky's, but like those are the concrete things that you can visibly see. They don't know that you can choose to say, to eat the burger or to, what I mean? Like all that's kind of invisible. It's in your brain.
So what I hear you saying is the choices, the decisions you made, not the choices you had. You may have had bad choices, but people are seeing the good decision you made, or vice versa.
Yeah.
Okay, love that.
Or
Rebecca?
on the flip, they're not seeing the things you said no to. Like I could have, done XYZ, taken a 3-hour lunch, or I had to tell my friends no, I couldn't do this because I was showing homes on Sunday because I chose to show homes and got to write an offer. So it's those things that they don't see that you were saying no to.
I love that. Here's what I want some of the newer agents to think about, or agents who aren't necessarily, your business isn't where you want, is sometimes we see, like I see top agents say that they're going to make 5 or 10 contacts. Sometimes they make 15, right? That's kind of their range. But as a newer agent, what I want you to realize is you are not privy to the choices or the decisions they made early on in their career that got them to the point where their conversion rates are better. They can talk to less people and have better results. So here's where the golf analogy is going to come in that I think is going to really play into this conversation. So the other piece, I'm not going to read this part here, but the piece that I want you to realize is you've arrived when you don't need credit for the work. Meaning, attaboys are great, pat on the backs are good, but when you have the reason why you're doing it and you're doing it for that reason, you don't need everybody else. You don't need, what's the word? Validation. You just do the work. You do the hard. You get good at doing hard. T.
Like when you sell 100 homes and you sign one buyer, it's not like everybody, I signed a buyer. It's like, that's just what I do, is I sign buyers.
Okay, so I love that. T said, when you sell 100 homes or whatever a lot of homes is in your book, when you sell one, you don't need the pat on the back because it's just what you do. You are someone who sells homes. Okay, so let's go through the golf thing here. So performance gains are not linear. Going from bad to good, it takes effort for sure. Going from good to great takes a lot of effort, but going from great to world class takes obsessive, boring, and invisible reps. So I heard you say 2%. We did the math. Okay. A scratch golfer sits at 85 to 90% of a PGA pro. So that's a 10 to 15% difference. 10 to 15% doesn't sound like a lot, right? You guys,
pretty close.
yeah, it's pretty close. But to get that last 15%, it's the most expensive part. Precision practice, tight feedback loops, consistent conditioning, routine refinement, mental coaching, recovery discipline. no days off. So when we see people that seem like they're an anomaly, I'm going to use Kara as an example because she makes it look easy. Yes?
Yes.
She's a killer and she makes it look easy. Rebecca, a killer, makes it look easy. The reality is we're not seeing the invisible part. All the time and effort that they put in refining their skill set and refining their ability to talk to people, knowing what to say and how to say it. We're not seeing any of that. So it may look like they're doing 5 or 10 or 15 or 20% better than the next best person, but they've actually put in the time in the most expensive part to get to that level to where it looks easy. So what are you guys hearing? What are some ahas?
Can I say
Rebecca,
something?
yeah.
And this relates to what you said at the beginning. People only see the decisions you made, not the choices you had. Is that you guys don't see that I scripted every day for 10 years. I mean, that, like, there wasn't a, maybe I should do this or maybe I shouldn't. It was my standard, I did it, and and you didn't see that, and that's why I don't have to make as many calls. And plus I made what did I make, 100 calls a week or something when I first joined the team, or it was
Contacts.
Yeah, contacts, yeah. So I did all of that, and I know that's what boosted my career and boosted my level of now I only have to make X amount of calls. So you guys didn't see that. So I would challenge you to do it.
Kelsey.
So you guys talk a lot about looking up to the person that's right in front of where you want to be, because their reality and their choices are going to be very similar to yours. Rebecca's and Kara's are 20 steps ahead, not one step ahead.
Correct.
So you're not seeing their big picture. You're looking to somebody that has the same choices that you need.
Well, yeah. Think about that in the context you're using. If someone who's selling 4 homes or 5 homes a year, they go to Kara and say, "What do you do every day to sell houses?" What Kara does every day to sell houses is going to look drastically different than what they're going to have to do to sell houses. But someone who's selling 6 homes and they want to move up to 10, they go talk to the person doing 10. What that person's doing isn't going to, well, it might be drastically different than what that person selling 6 is, but it's going to be much more attainable.
Yeah, closer reality.
Closer to reality. Exactly. Who else? Matt has a T? Go ahead.
So Rebecca was, and is always still the shooting star, right? But at home Boise, we were very close in proximity, and I was brand new, and I remember Chase, and I had these conversations often where he had to remind me, you didn't see the grind that Rebecca had to go through. And so I was like, well, Rebecca makes 10 calls, but then she also still goes on 5 appointments, and so and I had to go through the grind that was invisible to me, and it was the 20 connects a day, which is exactly what Rebecca had to do that I wasn't there for, because she was, 6 years in by the time I joined the team, so it's so silly, and in hindsight, I'm like, oh yeah, I used to complain about that all the time.
Matt.
My takeaway is do I want my life to look like Kara's and my business to look like Kara's? Yes, but I think the first thing I need to do is Brittany, where were you a year ago, and what do I need to do for my business to look like yours in a year from now? That's kind of my takeaway.
Love it.
The next step.
That's awesome. So for those of you that are writing things down, I think you guys should write this down. You should journal on it. What are your invisible activities what do they look like right now? And if someone were to assess your invisible activities, what result would they say you should be getting based on those activities? So it's a self-assessment of are those activities actually getting it? And then the follow-up question is what activities is the person doing that is actually accomplishing what I want, the next level of what I want? What are they doing? And you may have to go get into conversation with someone and ask them, what are the invisible things you're doing? What does your day look like? What does your routine look like? What does your morning look like? Because that's going to be your next path. Chase.
Yeah, so I have a belief that you can either pay now or you can pay later.
Yeah.
So what does that mean to you, Brian? When you hear that?
Well, to me, it's choose your heart. The reality is life is hard. Every choice comes with hard. So it's hard to make calls, and it's hard to make consistent calls, but it's harder having zero money in your bank account. And if you choose not to make calls, then you've chosen the harder.
Yeah, I was
Which is-
coaching, I coach a lender in our industry, and this person said, oh yeah, I just talked to a realtor and they made 150 grand in October. Just not bad. Nice October. And so they're just not gonna do anything for a little while, is what she said. And it's interesting because I think about this, like, real estate is a lot like going back to the gym.
Hmm.
So can everyone relate with like taking time off the gym and then going back? Okay, how much fun is that?
Horrible.
It's hard.
It's very hard. So first of all, it's like, we all know it's hard to go to the gym, but
It's like starting from scratch.
when you go to the gym and you haven't been for a while, what's the level of soreness? Especially you guys that are a little bit older, it's like 10x. I wasn't talking about anyone in particular. I was talking about myself. Like, I couldn't believe it. I think I was 38, 39 when I like started going like for reals, and holy hell, the soreness is out of control. And you know, honestly, I think the only reason I go to the gym today is because I don't want to feel that ever. But just imagine your real estate business. You're like, you work your butt off to finally get a deal. And then you touch your deal and pet your deal and hug your deal and love your deal. And, you know, 30, 45 days go by and you're like, okay, deal's closed. Yes, I made it. And then what happens?
You gotta claw your way back up.
I have no more deals.
Mr. Will stops.
I have no more deals, so I have to go back in. It's just like starting and stopping at the gym over and over and over and over again. You know, so the pay now or pay later is like you're gonna pay now by doing some things that maybe you don't want to do. Or you can pay later by having, like he said, no money in your bank account, or having to go get a real job, which I hear, like, put it in quotes because, like, is this not a real job? Like, I don't know. I've been doing it 20 years. It feels like a real job. I'm not real sure, but like, that's the thing. Like the pain of regret, knowing that you could have done the things you needed to succeed. And you know, when you hear, so those of you that are on daily growth, like, and if you're not on daily growth, I want to see you there. It will matter. It will matter. And the things that you hear on daily growth, when you hear about some successful agent doing something, or you know, whatever it might be, and then what's your knee jerk to that? Right? We gave can we talk about the limiting beliefs? I know we got extra
Yeah,
time.
let's do it.
So what was the example for the
Hold on.
limiting belief? Do you remember that? So there was an example for a limiting belief, which is effectively like, how do we get someone to experience a limiting belief? So it is the 17th of November right now. How many days do we have left in the competition?
13 days.
13 days. So, and we allow, 13 days. If I told you you had to make 400 contacts of 1 minute or more between now and the end of the month, like, what goes through your head? There's no time. What else?
I have to say no to literally everything.
I have to say no to literally everything other than making calls. Okay. Anything else? Is your knee jerk like, that's some bullshit? What'd you say?
Brittany just threw up in her mouth.
Okay. What if I said, when you do this, I'm going to give you $1 million?
Francesca's like, I'm not eating.
Someone just said it'd be done tomorrow. Yeah. Like, but think about that though. Like, what changes in your mind? Like, are you already figuring out this is exactly what my regiment's going to look like? This is exactly how I'm going to do it?
Yes.
So
her first thing, she's like, I'll be on the phone in the bathroom.
Yeah.
She immediately went to problem solving.
Yeah.
Like, I'll have a headset on, I'll be making calls, and I'll eat while I'm on the phone, I'll drink while I'm on the phone, I'll go to the bathroom while I'm on the phone. I will get through 100 1-minute plus conversations.
Is there anyone for $1 million who wouldn't do that? Be honest. Okay, so every single one of you would do that for $1 million. Okay. So that's the think about the two questions. Think about the two questions. One was like, hey, you got to do it by the end of the month, and everyone's like, bullshit, no way. And then the other one is, I'll give you $1 million. You're like, all right, where do you want me to make calls at? So what we've exposed is you have a limiting belief. You have something that's causing you to believe you cannot be what you actually could be. Do you understand that?
Yeah.
So where does your head go when you guys hear that?
That we're all just lazy.
Oh, she says that we're all lazy.
Here you go.
It actually takes me back to probably 3 or 4 years ago. October is one of my best months always, and I closed 10 deals in October, and I was like, "Holy shit, that was exhausting!" And I was like, but once I did it, I was like, I could literally do this every month when I choose to. Like, I can do it. And it is a lot of work. And if I did it every single month, that would be 120 deals in a year, which makes me throw up in my mouth a little bit, you know? And it's like, because once you do it, it's like you can't go back, because you know, and your body knows that it can do it. Your mind knows it can do it. And so like Kim saying that, like, I literally, that is my limiting belief. Sometimes I'm like, God, why are you so lazy? You could do so much more. And then I actually take it from there and I say, okay, it's not laziness. It's choosing between this and that, you know.
Kara,
So
how many units a year do you close?
about 50, usually
50.
between 40 and 50.
Okay, so if you did just commit for a year and you did 120, like you said, do 10 a month, which, you know, if you apply yourself, you can do, because you already broke through that ceiling of achievement.
Mm-hmm.
That's what, 2.5 years worth of work done in 12 months.
Yeah. Then I can take the next year
And
off.
you could take a year off. Well, what would that do for you though? Like,
Yeah.
what financially, what would that do for you? How would that set you up for your future? What
Yeah.
investments could you do? Like, it would
Well,
all look different.
What's funny is that I was on that daily growth when you guys talked about it, and it literally got my mind rolling exactly that. And I was like, okay, so journaling, what would that do for me? What would that do for my family? How would that make my like 5-year goals hit a lot faster? And then what could I do? What else is that going to do for me to catapult me into like the next realm of what I'm doing? And it's, you know, it's just like this builder stuff that came in. I mean, I've worked with Berkeley for a long time, and then I haven't worked with them for about 7 years. And it's like that kind of thing just, you know, it doesn't just fall in your lap because I'm doing the work behind the scenes and talking to people all the time. It's just like when those kind of things happen, it's like I am so excited to see what else is going to just fall in my lap, like, you know, in the next couple of months.
But what you're saying is that it's not falling in your
No,
lap.
no, but that's, it's like the thing that you say you see.
It's the invisible work.
Yeah.
It's the invisible work, where it could appear as though it's the same as what do they call it, like an overnight sensation, but then you like go and study that person who became famous overnight and all the years and years and years and years that they put into getting there. It's the same thing. Like we just see the surface level of anybody that's successful.
There's a video. I think it goes hand in hand with this conversation, Brent. If you're cool,
let's
we'll
do it.
rip it. We got a little extra time. Can you turn it up, maybe?
Did you share with video or audio? You have to, when you hit share, hit stop share. Hold on. And then hit share. Oh, it's still not working. Crap. Share. Right here, share sound. Click that. Now hit share. that's going to do it or not.
Yeah, that's not the right remote. Here it is. Maybe this one.
No, it's to this.
Turn the mics off. Well, we can hear them on Zoom, so that seems weird. Right click this and make sure it's not muted up here. Yeah, okay. Dun, dun, dun. Maybe we can just send the video out to everyone.
Okay. Yeah, that's what we'll do.
Yeah, sorry. Technical difficulties. All right, we heard from Kara. Does anyone else want to share anything on this? Guys, all in your heads? There's not a person on the planet that isn't walking around with limiting beliefs. So we're all dealing with it. It's just a matter of
Being able to recognize it.
Yeah.
Being aware. I think that's a great exercise. If there's something that you want, but you're not willing to do what it takes, that just means you probably don't want that something bad enough. Tie it to, like, play the game with yourself in your head. Like, would I do it for $1 million? And then if they say yes, then just start journaling. What would I do if I was getting $1 million at the end of it? By the time you're done, that'll be your action plan. That'll be what you actually have to do to make it happen. So, all right, gratitude. Who or what are you grateful for? Brittany, who else is going to volunteer?